this long bonding with the Tibetan teachers and scholars. And the center was always very keen in learning and research related to Tibetan Buddhism, because it has preserved a rich heritage. And also, there are many such Sanskrit texts, especially which are now not surviving in Sanskrit, but they are still preserved in the Buddhist translations. So they have a very rich wealth of literature as well, for which it is very important to know about Tibetan Buddhism and also learn the language. And I think we are the only institute in Mumbai where we are also focusing on learning Tibetan, and we have our teacher Tashila also here along with us today. Some of us, the faculty members, are also making an attempt to learn Tibetan language, and we are very keen to develop this particular program. This has been supported by the Khangser Foundation. We have received a grant from the Khangser Foundation, and because of which we have been able to run this program. So we are very keen today as well to listen to Khangser Rinpoche about this interesting topic, because Bardo is, I think, a very interesting and unique concept which the Tibetan Buddhism has preserved. So I heartily welcome him. I request Mr. Gautam More to please welcome Khangser Rinpoche on behalf of the Institute and all the participants who are there.
Hello, namaste. Hello, namaste. Khangser Rinpoche is a geishe and the teacher of Buddhist Tantra and Sutra. Rinpoche is also an author of many bestseller books like Live with Peace and Joy, Being Master of Your Own Life, etc. Rinpoche is the founder of Dipankara Buddhist Center in Taiwan, Thankar Dechen Choiling Monastery in Nepal, and many other institutes and academical centers in different parts of the world. Rinpoche will teach us the Dream Yoga, which is the unique practice of the Tantra tradition, which can be practiced by the one who is even sleeping. Thank you.
Okay, greetings to all. I was just wondering that we're coming at the online. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me well?
Hello, can everyone hear Rinpoche clearly? Can someone unmute and tell us?
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me better? It's better? Better. Okay. Before starting, I just thought to tell you the one thing. Today's the talk. I will talk with the wearing the mask. A few days back, when I was in Delhi, the person told me that I can remove the mask. So in the Delhi, officially they announced that we can remove the mask. But I told, yeah, I can remove the mask, but I cannot remove my fear. That's why I have to wear the mask. The state, when I reach the state where I can remove my fear, that state called the Arhat, state where you eliminate all the destructive emotion. So anyway, so now back to today's the topic. As you all know, that two subjects and two topics. One is a dream yoga and one is Bardo. So I'm not so sure that I can cover the both subjects. So let me go with the dream yoga. So first thing is that the dream yoga, I teach several times that the dream yoga. And whenever I teach the dream yoga, I always tell the people that I myself never practice the dream yoga. Because when you practice the dream yoga, you have to focus more on the dream. So you cannot sleep well. So I told I want to sleep well, so I don't practice the dream yoga. So today's the topic, the dream yoga. One thing that it's a very important to understand what is a dream. If you look at this point, what the Buddhist perspective toward the dream, what is the science perspective to the dream? If you look at the Sigmund Freud, he already wrote the one book called The Dream Analysis. He paid too much interest and the emphasis about the dream. But what we did, dream yoga practice, we also did a lot of the research on that field. What research I did is that the one time I was giving the dream yoga talk in the Taiwan, nearly 200 people participated in these. I have done the research with the 200 people. What we did is that in the state of the dream, the question is that in the state of the dream, are you able to travel from the one place to another? Are you getting my question? In the state of the dream, can you travel? This is not a science fiction, any stories, okay? Yes or no, there's a two comes. Or whether they will be the third answer, I don't know. I choose the third one, okay, I don't know. That is my answer, okay? But I did the research on the field, whether really can travel or not. How I did the research, I will come back to you later. Now here coming the point to the dream yoga. The main purpose of the dream yoga is that in the state of the dream to practice what we call the Dhamma, or in the state of the dream, you can practice the Dhamma. And also another important point is that we all know that we are carrying this physical body, that we all know it. But from the Buddhist perspective, in the state of the dream, we are having the dream body. One time I was giving this talk in America. One American student told me that they have the movie. What's the name of that movie? Inception. Then I tried to watch that movie. I could watch only 5 minutes. I feel very bored. Okay, because I don't enjoy the fiction movie. I don't listen to music, okay? Because I'm an old man. Okay. Whatever, okay? So these are, I don't know the whole the story, the movie, that movie story. I could watch only 5 minutes. So, but the point is there in the state of the dream, what we are saying is that we are creating the dream body. With that dream body, can you travel from the one place to another place? Are you getting my question? For that, we did the research. How we did the research is very simple. How we did the research is very simple, that the student, they never visited my temple in the Nepal. So first we teach that how they have to practice the dream yoga. Then I ask them in the state of the dream, visit my temple. Whatever you see in the dream, write down. My point. That is how the research. What the result comes, I will explain you later. But that is the way of the. In the one thing, always you should know that. I think you have heard that in the Buddhism, Buddha encouraged the people to find the reality and the fact. He told that don't follow me as I said, do analyze. So that's why I always tell the people, to the beginners who come to the Buddhism, I used to tell them, when you study the Buddhism, you just think that Buddha can be right or wrong, 50-50. He can be wrong 50%. He can be right 50%. So that mentality you should have when you approach to the Buddhism. 50% Buddha can be right, 50% Buddha can be wrong. Still, I believe that 50-50 Buddha, okay? So now come back to the point. Now in the dream yoga, purpose of the dream yoga is that in the state of the dream, with having the dream body, travel to another universe. We call the Buddha's Pure Land. I'm not so sure that word is very familiar with you. We call the Buddha's Pure Land. That means a Buddha's land. To travel and receive the teaching from the Buddha. It's not that important whether it really exists or not exists. It's not important at all. Okay, the most important thing is whether you can travel or not. That is the number one question. Okay. Number two is that come back to the number two is that when you look at our mind, can our mind travel in the future? Are you getting my question? Because the Sigmund Freud in the dream analysis, he paid too much importance, and he said that every dream carry the meaning. We fail to interpret the dream. Every dream have one very funny thing is that he said that when you dream flying, what does that mean? Sigmund Freud told, if you fly, you will have a kid, because kids love flying. How far is it true or not that I have? मुझे भी पता नहीं. You can read the book called The Dream Analysis in the Sigmund Freud. So now in the Buddhism perspective, in the dream yoga means in the state of the dream, we are carrying the dream body. In that, using that dream body, we can travel. Are you getting to my point? You getting it, no? So how we can travel? That's the one question. Second is, as I asked you before, whether the mind can travel to the future or not. Quite long back, 15 years back, one of the parapsychologist scientists came to the monastery in the South India and they did the research. There is a research about whether the mind can see the future or not. Research is very interesting research. What they did is very simple. आप लोग तो जानते हैं, कोई बाबा लोग बोल लेते हैं ना, भविष्य में ऐसा होगा, वो तो बोल लेते हैं, उसका हुआ तो अच्छा, नहीं हुआ तो कोई नहीं पूछता. I was born in Nepal. Just come back to the one joke, okay, but true joke. मेरा नेपाल में हुआ. I don't know what the term is, one person, one guru or whatever, he told that huge earthquake will come. So lots of people run from the village. Other people run, but the earthquake didn't. So then what happened that in Nepal, the police caught that master. And they told him that you really disturbed lots of people. They left the village and they left the village and came and went to the different places. So then the one journalist asked him the question, how did you know that the earth was coming? That master told, because God told me. The journalist asked him that, oh, you're talking with the God. The master said, yes. In what language you are talking with the God? The Nepali that the Guru told, he's talking in Hindi. Anyway, that is the true joke. Now come back to the research, scientific research, what we did, okay? Scientific research is, even you are interested, I can give you that program. It's a very simple procedure. What they did is that we pick up the group of the monks who meditate more than the 3 years and the monks who have not meditated at all. Among that group, they will ask them to meditate 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, and after that in the computer, they will show the 4 pictures in computer. 4 pictures, and the computer will choose one picture. That is a very random. No one knows what the computer will choose. Meditator have to pick up and now predict. Computer will choose the picture. Are you getting my point? Not one time. They have to do the 8 times. You're getting it? In the 1 minute, they will know whether your answer is right and wrong. So what happened is an interesting result is that what we found out is that monks who meditate, a group of the monks who meditate more than the 3 years, they are far much better than the group of the monk who have not meditated at all. Now the parapsychologist scientists came to me and asked that how is it possible? What the reason? What is the reason behind it? So then there comes the idea of the mind can travel. But the one thing you should know that mind can travel future is my theory in the Buddhism. It is still, if I can prove it, then it will become the Buddhism theory. If I cannot prove it, then it won't become the Buddhism theory, okay? Are you getting my point, no? So that's why you can hurt in the Buddhism, Nagarjuna theory, Asanga theory, Dharma Kirti theory. Because these are the logical reasons behind a lot of logical reasons, and they prove and try to prove it. So then Buddhism will accept. Once you have a no logical reasons and the evidence to prove your theory, it won't become the Buddhism theory at all. Buddhism theory doesn't mean that the one Buddhist have to tell. Okay? Even if you're not Buddhist, your theory is right. Buddhism will accept it. Am I clear? Okay. So now coming back to the point, okay. Let me tell you the one story. There is one master in the temple. And they are having the prayer session. Prayer session, and one small kid, it fall asleep. While he fall asleep, master scolded the small kid and told him that why you are sleeping. While you are sleeping while we all are doing the puja and the prayer. He scolded him. And the next day in the prayer session, master fall asleep. Then the small kid asked the master, why you are sleeping? Then the master told the small kid that I am not sleeping. I am practicing dream yoga. In the state of the dream, I went to the Buddha's pure land and received the teaching from Buddha directly. Then again, few days later, in the prayer session, again the small kid fall asleep. Then the master scolded the small kid and told him why you are sleeping. The small kid told exactly same as the master and told the master that he was not sleeping. In the state of the dream, he went to the Buddha's pure land to receive the teaching from the Buddha. Then the master told the small kid that if you went to the Buddha's pure land to meet the Buddha, what the Buddha says. The small kid told the master that I went to the Buddha's pure land and I asked the Buddha, do my master come here? Then Buddha told me, who's your master? He never comes here. Okay, so this is the point. This is the story, okay, in the state of the dream yoga, in the state of the dream, using the dream body and the trauma. Now here the process, you know the process, how it can happen. Now, have you heard that the lucid dream? No? Lucid dream is the to aware that you are dreaming. In the state of the dream, be aware that you are dreaming. It rarely happens. Have you have experience? One thing, so you have to learn that. To aware that, be aware that you are dreaming. So that's why I don't want to practice. It will disturb your sleep. I want to have the very good sleep, so that's why I never practice that. Anyway, so when you to be aware that you're dreaming, for that, when you're fallen, when you're going to the bed, you have to visualize the syllable, or like that on your throat. Like that on the throat, and because when you are visualizing the syllable on your throat, you are focusing on the throat. When you are focused on your throat, that will help you to have the more clear dream. You can try. If it happens, good. If it not happen, forget about it. Okay? So that is the first thing. Second thing is what you have to do is daily, when you are awake, you have to remind yourself, oh, you are dreaming. You are dreaming. That's what we call the auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion is you have to tell again and again that oh, you are dreaming and you are dreaming. And in the state of the dream, then you will aware that you are dreaming. You are dreaming. In the state of the dream, when you are aware you are dreaming, what will you do? My question, I should change my question. What should you do? Okay, that comes the research, okay? What should you do, okay? Now that is the point. When we are doing lots of people join my program, I ask them to, when you aware that you are dreaming, come to my monastery. Who have not visited my monastery. Then some people told me that visited my monastery in the state of the dream, they saw the white building. In my monastery, all my buildings are not a white. They are painted with a yellow. You know my name is, if you translate that my name in Tibetan name in the English, literally that means the yellow house. So all my monasteries are painted the yellow. All my residents are painted the yellow. Okay, yellow house. Now don't ask me that why they call me yellow house. Okay, then it will carry the 200-300 years. Okay, I don't want to tell all those history. Okay, the true 300 years. This okay. So now the person who told me in the state of the dream visited my monastery, white building. But I found it very interesting that time one side of the building was painting. So foundation of the yellow pen, they painted. So that's why they sold. Now now in the state of the dream, what you can do is you can visit your friend's house. Ask your friend to write some numbers and put it on the table, not telling you what number they wrote. And in the state of dream, just go and visit your friends and try to see that number, what your friends write down on the paper. Are you getting my point? That is the one thing you can do, research, okay? Now the second point, okay? Second point is that, second point, have you heard the term called the deja vu, no? Deja vu. And do you have the experience that what you dreams and which comes? Have you have that experience? You have it, no? Now you have that. Now here comes the question that how it's possible, possibilities, no? How you can explain it scientifically, okay? Not through the sum of the imagination, okay? How you can explain that scientifically, how it happens. Are you getting my question? So now this comes back to my point. Consciousness can travel in future. Mind can travel. That, as I mentioned, that's my, okay? So many. Still, I'm struggling to prove that theory. Okay, still I'm struggling. Okay, I'm not succeeded. Once I can prove it, then definitely the Buddhist scholar will accept my theory. Still, because that is the traveling in the future. No, mind can travel in the future. So when you are sleeping and when you are dreaming, the Sigmund Freud is a very different. He was telling that all the dream carries the message. Person who are all in the online, can you hear me clearly? They can hear me, no? Okay. So I think I lost my topic. Sorry? Freud, okay. So that means that you are very focusing on my you can remind. Sorry. Sorry if I laugh a little bit loud, okay? Before I was meeting with them and I've told them because my nature, sometimes I used to laugh very loud. I told them before that if you look at the Buddha's the life story, sometimes Buddha used to laugh. Then his student asked him that why Tathagata you laugh. Tathagata never laugh without any reason. So they used to ask the Buddha, and the Buddha will tell the story. So that why he was laughing. So that's why, sorry to jump out of the topic. That is the one, I'm sorry for the jumping out of the topic. Okay, I will jump a little bit out of the topic. I was brought up in the very traditional monastery. In the traditional monastery, rules are the strict, no? In the prayer or like that, you cannot laugh. Traditional monastery, okay? You cannot laugh. You have to be very serious, no? So slowly, that tradition didn't goes well with me because it's too strict. And one time I saw the Buddha statue when I was age of 18. I saw the Buddha statue. It's a very amazing statue. When you look straight, you will see the Buddha is in the deep state of the meditation. When you look from the right side, I saw the Buddha smiling. The moment that I thought that the Buddhism is not that, how they brought in the traditional monastery. Buddhism means to live more peacefully, happily, joyfully the life. So that's why now in my monastery in Nepal, young monks, I told them now I will make the football team of my monastery. You will see the young monks, the team of the football. Okay. So that is okay. So I'm sorry for jump out of the topic. Okay. So that's why now the Freud's idea, the dream interpretation. Now from the Buddhist perspective, in the dream, now you know that there are a few different categories in the dream. We are not saying that every dream is very important and it carries the message. Some of the dream will carry the message. Some dreams, it is just because of your habituation and some of your past experiences comes in the dream. So every dream, we don't pay too much attention for the old dreams. Okay, so now here you might think that which dream is more important and which is not that important, okay? Very honest with you. To answer this question, I needed some more years to do the research. I didn't do the research on this field. So even I'm not interested in the dream. Very honest with you, this topic is not my interest field. My interest is more like a field, is more like a live with the life with a very happily, joyfully. That's my thought. That's why recently, maybe few months back, I started the one program with the collaborating research with the NTU. You know the NTU, no? Singapore NTU. It's about the meditation, how it can bring the body's, the immune system build more strong. So we have to check the body's immune system, they have to first, whoever joined our program have to do the blood test. After the meditating for the 6 weeks, then we'll do the blood test. Then we'll see how meditation effect on the body immune system. With small group, we find a very interesting result. Now we are going to the mass, to the test for the 6 weeks meditation for 40 minutes daily, and how it affects in the body's immune system. Okay? So these are I really feel I'm interested, because I want to bring the more benefit in the people, whether it's a Buddhist or non-Buddhist, it doesn't matter. As being the human, we also equally same. So they bring the more benefits to the people. Okay. And yeah, so anyway, so that's why the research, so that is the research. Okay. So now the process is that say when you're aware that you're dreaming, what you have to do is that then you're trying to visit the place where you have not been at all. Then you write down your experience, whether it's matching or not. Am I clear? Okay, then you do that. Okay. Now what you can do is you visit my temple. Okay. It's in Nepal. Okay. It's in Nepal, in the Kathmandu. So you visit my temple and then write down. Then you can open our monastery website and see whether what you see in the dream is really match or not. Okay. Okay. Don't open my monastery website before. Okay. Only after you dream something, then only open my website. Okay. Then you will see the house of my monastery. Okay. In the website and whether it's matched with what you dream. Okay. Okay. So that is the okay point. Now the last point of the dream yoga. Okay. Last point of the dream yoga is that one thing, when you dream, okay, I'm just giving an example. Okay. What you should know is that you dream the apple. Your friend also dreamed the apple. Does that the apples, whatever the apples means for you, dreaming the apples means for you, it will be the same for your friend. Are you getting my question? For the frog, it's the same. For the segment front, it's the same. Whatever you dream, whoever dreamed the apple, he will interpret that dream as one same meaning to everyone. From the Buddhist perspective, no, it cannot be the same at all. Why it cannot be the same at all is that, okay, now I'll come back to the point. Because if you look at the Buddhist life history, lots of people used to ask the same question to the Buddha. Buddha's answers are not the same. Sometimes he used to say yes, sometimes he used to say the no, same question, okay? Sometimes he used to say the yes, sometimes he used to say the no, sometimes he keep the silence. Like you have upload sub suna on Atma. So when the people ask the Buddha whether there is Atma or not, sometimes he used to say yes, sometimes he used to say the no, sometimes he used to keep the silence. So that's why lots of people get confused with the Buddha's answer. Only who don't get confused is the person who asks the question. They will never get the confused. Because Buddha's answer is according to his label, he gives the answer. So, but our answer is whatever we give the answer is not according to the label of the person who asked you the question. Your label, all question comes in our label. So that's why what I'm saying is that's why when you dream the apple, your friend that dreamed the apple, it doesn't mean the same meaning. We cannot interpret it into the same way. So that is one of the big difference between the Buddhist perspective on the dream and the Sigmund Freud perspective on the dream. Big differences here. So I'm here, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying who is right and who is wrong. Okay, there is no question of the right and wrong. These all the field of the analysis field. You can do further research, further analysis. Because truth what you're true for you won't be the truth for me. What the truth for me, it won't be the truth for you. So that's why the Buddha says there's two kinds of the truth. One he told the conventional truth, and the one is the ultimate truth. Conventional truth can be the very different. Your truth, my truth, it won't be the same. But the ultimate truth it should be the same. Now don't ask me what is the ultimate truth, okay? Now it is not that easy to get the ultimate truth from the Buddhist perspective. That's what he called the shunyata. Have you heard the term called the shunyata? The shunyata is not that easy, okay? That is the Buddhist term. The shunyata is the ultimate truth. Ultimate truth means a shunyata is if you go finally, you will get the shunya. It comes to the empty. Are you getting my point, no? That is, have you heard the term ablog suna hogana shunyata? शून्य का मतलब होता है एम्प्टी और शून्य का मतलब ये होता है जीरो. सो जीरो का मतलब क्या होगा? मैथमेटिकली जीरो प्लस जीरो क्या होगा? जीरो ही होगा ना. जीरो माइनस जीरो क्या होगा? वो तो जीरो ही होगा. उसमें कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. वेदर यू एड द 1000 जीरो, वेदर यू माइनस द 1000 जीरो, उसमें कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. So that's the shunyata. Okay, shunyata. And the interesting thing is that when the Buddha explained about the emptiness, well, emptiness, he was not telling the theory. He was applying the very secret remedy or very secret antidote to overcome our destructive emotion. Are you getting my point? So this is the one Buddha tells that to overcome our destructive emotion, he said that we have to understand the ultimate reality, the truth, that is the shunyata. That is the only way. मैं एक बार एग्जाम्पल दूंगा आपको, वेरी सिंपल एग्जाम्पल. अच्छा ठीक, मैं एग्जाम्पल के तौर में दूंगा, ठीक है. अगर आपके लॉटरी 1 करोड़ का लॉटरी जीता तो आप खुश होगा कि नहीं? वेरी सिंपल. ओके, डोंट मेक इट एनी वेरी फिलोसॉफी. खुश होगा कि नहीं होगा? 10 दिन के बाद वो 1 करोड़ रुपए आपने खो दिया तो आपको दुख होगा कि नहीं होगा? Now I come the final question. Okay? जो आप 1 करोड़ जीत के जो खुशी के समय जो है वो लंबा है कि जब होते वक्त दुख जो है वो लंबा है? Am I right? Now एक बार आप सोच लीजिए, आप क्यों खुश हुआ? 1 करोड़ जीत के खुश हुआ. आप क्यों दुख हुआ? 1 करोड़ हो के दुख हुआ. Am I right? Why the unhappiness should be longer? Am I? Why unhappiness? Amount is the same. What does that mean? Something is going wrong. If you call from the psychological point of view, you can call that the mental disorder. एक mental disorder है. आजकल का psychologically they are giving the lot of the mental disorder. No, have you heard that term? No, if you cannot focus well, they call attention deficient mental disorder. ये तो नया नया आ रहा है ना. जब भगवान बुद्ध ने जो कह रहा mental disorder, he thought lots of the mental disorder. This is the one kind of the mental disorder that makes our life more complicated. We are not knowing it. Now here the one question comes. It is possible to increase the duration of happiness longer than the duration of unhappiness. Is it possible? Are you getting my point? Buddha is saying that very possible. Not only very possible, it is, Buddha say 100%. So if you understand the ultimate, the shunyata aap jaane ke to wo. So, okay. So now that this is the, now maybe I will leave for the 10-15 minutes for the question answer session. So I will conclude here my talk. So I will leave for 10 minutes or 15 minutes for the question answer session. So today I think that I cannot cover up the Bardo because Bardo goes a more complicated, again, the more complicated subject. Before talking about the Bardo, I will give you the few points, okay, so that you can do the further research. Bardo is the state between the two lives, no, this life or the next life. Now here comes the one question, whether really the past life and the future life exists or not exist. That is a one big question. So I will not say whether past and future exists. I will not say that it's not exist. I will suggest you the few books, read these few books, okay? Have you heard the book called The Children Who Remember Their Past Life? Children Who Remember Their Past Life. That book was written by the Ian Stevenson. He is a scientist. उसको कोई धर्म ही नहीं है, वो बस साइंटिस्ट है, उसने रिसर्च करके लिखा. Children Who Remember Their Past Life, written by the Ian Stevenson. I think he was professor of the Virginia. उसके रिसर्च के विषय में मैं बाद में बात करूंगा, क्योंकि उसके रिसर्च बना Buddhist perspective. Still we have a lot of the things we have to get together. जो सच जो होता है, the reality जो होता है, उसके लिए तो बहुत we have to look different perspective. One perspective say you cannot see the reality, the truth. We have to look from the different perspective. Okay, this book. Okay, then the second book is for the reincarnation. Reincarnation book. आप लोग ये पढ़ लीजिए. And also very interesting the other research. I think you can look in the Google. Berlin scientists find the life after the death. आप type कीजिए. So maybe you will find Berlin scientists के कुछ research भी है. So look at all this. What I'm saying is that whether there is a past and future life or not. Now you have to just do the research, whichever more evidence or logical reasons or evidence, you have to just find and go and find it. Okay? So what the Buddhist is saying that he believes, he not only believes that he says there is a life after the death. What's the life after the death? Now the most important thing is that here comes the one question. What benefit is the most important? If you believe, what benefit you will get. If you don't believe, what benefit you will get. That's the most important thing. If you look at all the children, every children believes their parent is the best parent. Am I right? Most children believe that. Am I right? Is it true or not? It's not important whether it's true or not. It's not important. Important is that mentality helps very much for the children. उसके जो ग्रोइंग अप है उसमें जब छोटे बच्चे ने सोच लिया कि मेरा पड़ोसी का माँ बाप जो मेरे माँ बाप से अच्छा इफ सोचने लग गए तो क्या होगा वो चिल्ड्रन को उसकी जिंदगी खराब हो जाएगी. That's some kind of a belief, no? What we have to believe is what we benefit us. That's more important, not the what. Sometimes even it's a truth, you should not believe. Like a children, if they start to believe their friends' parents are better than their parents, it can be true, but it will be more. It will harm the children's mentality. Are you getting my point? Comes to the next portion. My point. If you started to believe the existence of the past and the future life, what kind of the benefit you will get? If you don't believe, what kind of the benefit you will get? You just see that. If you feel that you will get more benefit, believing it, believe it. If you feel that more benefit you will get, that if you believe past and future life not exist, don't believe it. Ultimately, it's your life. You have to care. No one will care. Okay, I'm just joking. That is the thing. Okay, you have to look at it. Okay, let me give you the one example. Quite long time back, not a long time, 3 or 4 years back, I met one gentleman. He's around Oregon, Oregon, and he told me that his wife is a very now incurable disease. Maybe she might live only 5-6 months. Then he told me one thing. He started to believe in the reincarnation. Because he want to born again and his wife want to born again, meet again, and the next time they get married again. Whether they can marry again or not, who knows? But at least that believing helped him, to overcome that unhappiness in the mind, Really, she can die any time in the 6 months. At least that hope, Joanna. Sometimes it will helps you to run the life more smooth. So that is. You're getting my point, no? So that is something that you have to look this point. Okay, second point is the more important, whether it's true or not. Okay, so that's why the Bardo, maybe I will cover some other time. Okay, some other time, maybe we'll see some other time and I will cover up that subject. This subject will go more complicated. Okay, then I will stop here. And if you have any question, then you can ask me the question. 10-15 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, I will also request the participants who have joined online, you can raise your hand or you can post the questions in the chat box. Anyone who is here wants to ask any question? Okay, yeah, there is one question, Rinpoche, by Prajakti Shastri. How one can have control over dreaming? Dreaming. Can we control it, and how can we control it?
Okay. Before answering that question, let me tell you the one thing. Have you heard the Carl Jung? Carl Jung said the one thing. When you open the eye, you will dream. When you close your eye, you will enlighten. So same thing is that the controlling the dream. No, controlling the dream is here's the 2 point of the two meanings of the controlling the dream. Okay, if you want to have a lucid dream, if you want to have the awareness while you are dreaming, then as I told you before, daily life, you have to tell yourself that you are dreaming and that you are dreaming and that you are dreaming. So that will help you to, in the state of the dream, to realize or to generate the awareness that you are dreaming. And the second point, when you're controlling the dreaming, okay, when you're controlling about the dreaming, when you control the dream is there's a two kind of the dream, okay? One is a dream is the clear or the unclear dream. Okay? Clear dream means that sometimes you will drink a lot of the things, but you will not remember. That we call the unclear dream. Clear dream means after you wake up, you can still remember that what you are dreaming. That we call the clear dream. So to control the clear dream, so that as I told you the process, while you are going to the bed, you just visualize the syllable like that on your throat, okay? While you're going to the bed. That will help you to control the dream. Okay, now you can go.
Do you have a question? Yeah, there are many questions in the chat, but if you have, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, okay. Now again, have you watched the movie The Ghost? Okay, watch that movie, they call the Ghost, okay? The Ghost. Sorry? No. It's more like, okay, name is horror. The movie is not that much horror, okay? Because it's very much based on the Bardo movie. It's like a Bardo movie, okay? It's based on the Bardo movie and, okay. Now you comes to the question of the Bardo. No? Okay, now write down something. Yeah, Ghost movie. It's in the Hollywood movie, I think. Yeah. Maybe I'll write down that thing.
I think online participants are not able to hear the questions you all are asking. So I would like to just repeat the questions one. I think you asked the question, is there any body in the Bardo state? Okay. Any consciousness existing in the Bardo state? Of body. Okay.
Okay. Now, at the Bardo state, now things like that, okay? As I mentioned before, the dream body. The person who are born in the state of the Bardo, we call the body of the Bardo. Body of the Bardo is like an energy body. Like an energy body. Energy body means that can travel so fast. So that's why the one person died in the, I'm just giving the example, okay? Died in the South Africa. Next life, then he born in the Russia. The person who died in the South Africa won't take a rebirth in the Russia. How is that possible? That means the Bardo travel from the South Africa to the Russia. That travels with the energy body. Now, the most, as I mentioned before, in that book, the children who remember their past life, he picked up a few cases in India. The past life was died 10 years before, something 8 or 9 years before, and you take the reincarnation after 10 years, okay? Rebirth after 10 years. Now, this is the big question for the Buddhism. In the Buddhism, in the Bardo state, they will live only 49 days. They have to take the rebirth in 49 days. How is it possible for the 10 years not taking the rebirth? Are you getting my point? So this is the one big question in the Buddhism, and still we need a more analysis of the research. So in that, sorry? That is still some theories are there. As you said, in the Buddhism among some theories are coming like that. Still, they can be the part of the theories, but still there is not a final some answer we can find. So like a person out of time difference. Okay, what you are saying, the time difference. No, one person. I think in that book, in that mentioned both and the past. The person who died in also in India, somewhere Kanpur. I don't remember exactly. You read the book, and born in also in India. So it's very difficult to explain about the time difference. So that is the one. So that is it. Now, when you're asking about Bardo body, Bardo is an energy body, and they can travel with the energy body, they travel. Now, the thing is that whether we can communicate with the Bardo or not. Are you getting my point? That is the one very complicated thing. And the second thing is when the person born in the Bardo, okay, things like that. One British, one African, one Japanese, when they're born in the Bardo, what language they will speak? You're getting my point. No? So in the Bardo state, when you are having the energy body, there is no use of the language. Then we call the telepathy, mental language, understanding the mentally. That's what we are saying. You don't need any words to explain at all. I just want to ask one thing. In the dream state, have you ever experienced that in the dream state, you're communicating with the people, and do you think that in the dream state, when you're communicating with the people, do you really talk, or what you are not talk in the state of the dream? Sorry? It is more like a mental communication, isn't it? But still you can understand, no? Mental communication. That is the one example in the state of the Bardo. Okay? What you are communicating. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, go on. Yeah.
So there is another question related to dream yoga stage. How long does it take to achieve the dream yoga stage? How long does it take to achieve this state of dream yoga?
As I mentioned before, I never practiced it at all. So for me, it's very difficult to tell that how long it will take. But I don't want to tell something that really I'm not sure. But I don't want to tell, oh, it will take 3 months or 6 months. I don't want to tell that because I'm not very sure. Okay. One thing, let me tell you the one story. There is one CEO of the company, and he is retiring, and the new CEO is coming in that company. So then the new CEO asked that the old CEO that, can you just give me some advice? So old CEO of that company told the new CEO that I can give you the 2 envelopes. Whenever you face the difficulties, you open this 2 envelopes. Then he wrote the number 1. Then he wrote the number 2, envelope number 2. Then he gave to the new CEO. So what happened is that one time, one big problem came in the company. Then that new CEO went and opened that envelope, which handed over by the ex-CEO. Then he opened the envelope number 1. In the envelope number 1, it said that throw the whole blame to the previous boss. Then he did that in the company when the problem came. He just threw all the blame to the previous boss. Then anyhow, it solved the problem. Then after some years later, another problem came in the company. Then he went and opened the envelope number 2. In the envelope number 2, it said that now you prepare the 2 envelope and give to the CEO. So this is the story, same thing that when you are asking me how long it will take, if I tell something and it doesn't happen, then I have to throw the blame to someone. No? So that's why I don't want to do that. And yeah, so that is I'm not so sure. I think it very much depends on the student's label. Okay, any other one? Yeah. Hmm. Okay. So when you're saying that what is happening, first, let me tell you the one thing about the consciousness or the mind, okay? Because the mind, right now, the mind, the field of the mind is very profound. Very profound is the example. I will give you the one small example. There is one student went to see the master. So then the student asked the master to teach him the meditation. The master told him the meditation is a very easy and a very simple. You just go and the meditate, think anything, whatever you like. But don't think monkey. Don't think monkey. Other than the monkey, you can think anything. Whatever you want, meditate. Whatever you want, think. Don't think monkey. Students feel that the meditation is a very easy, very simple. Then he went and sat down and tried to meditate. Now you will know what comes in his mind. Yeah? Are you getting my point? No? What does that mean? That means the human's mind is so complex. Complexity of the mind. When you not think about a monkey, then this comes a monkey. So that's why I always tell, have you heard the story? No, when the God created Adam and Eve, God told not to eat the apple. Adam started thinking to eat that. If the God forced Adam to eat the apple, I don't think the Adam will eat the apple at all. When the God asked Adam why he eat, then the Adam threw the blame to the Eve. Eve threw the blame to the snake. Snake is speechless. So he cannot throw the blame to anyone. So, but the thing is that the mind is complex. Number one. Number two, let me tell you one thing. In this world, all the we humans, no one can count how many hairs on their head. Am I right? No one can count how many hair on their head. Am I right? That is a 1-3 reality. Okay, I will say. Okay, no one can count. No one can count that how many hairs on their. Number one. Number two is that no one can wash their face with the soap with the open eye. Yeah. Number three, that no one can breathe while touching your tongue on the upper plate. No one can breathe touching your tongue to the upper plate. 3 reality. Okay. Did you try the third one? I'm sure that you try only to try. That's the curiosity. Mind is so complicated. I'm giving the example. I'm sure that you already did that. Try the third one. See whether you can. Curiosity, complexity, human mind. Complexity is such a complexity that master told not to think about monkeys. Suddenly they start to think of monkeys. Curiosity is that when I told that no one can breathe while touching your tongue to the upper plate, you already tried curiosity. So that's why the mind, when you're saying the mind, no, so that was so complicated. Mind is so complicated. Mind is so complicated. Plus, not only the complicated, plus mentally, you always will say that I told you that we are born with a lot of the mental disorder. I always give the one example how we are having the mental disorder. In the Buddhism term, we call the self-cherishing attitude. I'm not so sure whether you have heard it or not. After this session, if we take the group photo after this session, if you take the group photo, once you get that group photo in your cell phone, to whom you will look? Whom? Yourself, am I right? If you look good in that group photo, I'm sure you will keep that. If you don't look good, even your old looks good, you will delete it. Am I right? More important, group photo is not important. How you look is important. What does that mean? That means that you are too attached to the self. We call the self-cherishing attitude. One time, quite a long time back, one man asked me to pray that he is going to marry his fiancée. After the week later, pray for him. Then I asked him, why you are going to marry your fiancée? He told me that he will be more happy if he marry his fiancée. So I told him, you are thinking very wrong. You should not think that way. You should think that if you marry your fiancée, she will be more happy. That is how we call the Buddhism term, we call the self-cherishing attitude. So that is the one, the weakening the mental disorder. That's a very, so with the self-cherishing attitude, then the ego, then all the negative thoughts comes out. So that's why now coming back to when you're talking about a mind, no? So lots of the complexity. So Buddha's, the main message is what he's trying to get is that train the mind. Train the mind, then you can be the peace and the happiness. You can be the happy and peace all the time. So that is the main message. Yeah. Okay, so another. Thing is that actually the research was not contacted by me, okay? That is the journalist, oh sorry, the parapsychologist scientists, they have contacted that research. How was that time? Just to get the people, participants. And when they have the question regarding about the Buddhist perspective, how we're looking at that research, that I explained that. So now I don't have fully the data. I saw that time that they sent me the email, I saw it. So that's a very long time back. This is the number one point. Number two is that I can provide you the full data that what the research I'm conducting. Okay? Right now I'm conducting that research data. I can provide you the very full details of the data. Okay? No. But the parapsychologist one was someone did, but the one British psychologist, they did it. This research is I'm conducting. Yeah?
There was one question in the chat. How long Bardo state remain before the next body is received?
As I told you, the Bardo remained the 49 days. 49 days it remained in the Bardo. So now the thing is that, okay, I will go the more complicated, okay? Now I will go the one more complicated state. Okay, complicate means a very, let me tell you the one. When the two philosophers come together and they started to discuss, they will not agree. They don't have any common point to agree. Only one point, both will they agree. You know what that is? Huh? Yeah, disagreement between them. That will only agree. So now we'll go a little bit more Buddhist, more complicated with the Buddhism theory, okay? One thing, okay, there is in the Mongolia and the Buddhist country, they have some tradition. When someone is passing, it is more like finding the reincarnation, okay? What they do is that they will just mark their hand with the curd or milk, make it the left hand or right hand, will mark with the curd or milk to make it a little bit looks of white. And that they will then later on any boy or the girl carry any birthmark on the left hand where they mark. That is the way how to find the reincarnation. So that's why if you look at the book, The Children Who Remember the Past, he also mentioned the birthmark. It's also the one of the indication of the past and the future. Because if you look from the scientific point of view, there is no clear answer that how the birthmarks comes. It's not related with the genes. It's not related with any other things. That is a very, the mysterious. So this is the one point. Now the second point, this is the second point is that one of my student, she lives in the China and the Shanghai. She told me that her pet, one dog passed. Then she went to find the reincarnation of the dog in the pet shop. What she did is she called the name of the dog, the dog, and then she see the reaction of the new, the small dogs, no? Then she told me she find it out the reincarnation. How far is the right or how far is the wrong? That I have no idea, but she did like that. Anyway, so that is normally 49 days, and these are the few ways how the people go and to find the way. Yeah.
So there are no further questions in the chat box. Anyone from here in the audience? Okay, so I think we can conclude the session. I request Dr. Pallavi Zamre to extend the vote of thanks.
Good evening. Thanks a lot, Rinpoche, for accepting our invitation and coming here and to give lecture. Thanks a lot, our Tibetan teacher, Mr. Tashi, for bringing Rinpoche here. Thank you. I would also like to thank Principal of Engineering College and staff of Engineering College for providing us this room and helping us. Thank you. And of course, our IT department and staff of Buddhist studies and audience here who are present here and also who are present here. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rinpoche. We'll see you next time. Thank you.